Draft Bastards.
Welcome to Draft Bastards, a podcast that features four brothers consuming and reviewing craft and microbrews from the New England area, all while discussing the topic of the day. This episode, the craft beers of choice come from Night Shift Brewing out of Everett, Mass. These frosty cool ones will accompany us as we discuss Marvel's WandaVision, the series finale. So don't change that channel. It's time for the show.
When no original plank remains, is it still the ship of Theseus?
Buenos dias, bonjour, guten tag, and konnichiwa. Welcome to episode 8 of Draft Bastards. My name is Jay O'Neill, and I'll be your moderator. With me again are my bro hosts. I got Mikey.
Good evening, Jay.
I got Baru.
What up?
And I got Kev.
Yo.
Good evening, gentlemen. We're going to try to be a little ambitious here and crank out an episode on a Saturday night.
So ambitious.
Yeah, but it's immediately following the WandaVision finale.
So sleepy.
Yeah. Also, we listened to some albums for review again for the second half of the show. Baru scored us a couple of beers from Night Shift Brewing out of Everett.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these cans have some big old owls on them, and you guys know how much I love these things, so I'm really hoping they don't suck.
Jay has owl tattoos.
I do. Baru, do we know anything about this first beer that we're going to be trying?
So this is Night Shift Whirlpool. It's a New England Pale Ale. I do believe it is their first beer.
That's right.
That they kind of put into
their PR guy
distribution.
Or gal actually reached out to us, which was really cool of them. And that's right. They did say the Whirlpool was their first beer.
Mm-hmm. I've actually never had this one. I've only had their IPA that we want to have next.
Cool.
So this will be a first for me. Nice pale ale to start things off. Are we ready?
We are ready.
I'm so ready. Go.
4.5 horsepower on this one.
Not
I
too
hope
bad.
this is good because I see this all the time and I always think about buying it. And, she's a blonde.
Yeah, so Night Shift, you can pretty much get anywhere around here, greater Boston area. I don't know how far they go. Do you guys know if they're national? Or?
They
They're
did
not national.
let us know. Yeah, no, they're Maine, New York, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Mass, Connecticut.
It's very clear for a pale ale.
Yeah, but like if you're from greater Boston especially and you've seen Night Shift, because you've definitely seen it at the beer store.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty plain looking can with a huge owl on it. You can't really miss them.
It's a great illustration.
Yeah, so like,
A hop owl.
if you've seen it and never tried it, they're definitely worth checking out. It's a cut above and they're local. They're right out of Everett.
This is delightful. This is hitting the spot. And I know we say that a lot, but this is a nice light pale ale, blonde in color. I finished the rest of my can because I'm waiting for the head to go down. It's kind of being a little stubborn, which is good. Kind of fruity for a pale ale, which I like.
It definitely has a fruity aroma to it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about it right now because I think my palate is messed up from this energy drink I was just drinking.
Dude, what's up with your palate lately?
I know, seriously, guys.
It's sensitive.
Slow down. I got to adjust my palate.
Yep, I'm sold.
It's very light. It's
Yeah.
easy.
Light and easy.
It kind of, it reminds me of
Okay, there we go.
it reminds me of an IPA, but really light. I don't know if that's incorrect.
Because it smells like an IPA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but it's not. I'm not chewing it.
I just had a few sips right out of the can, and
I'm trying to place the
it's
fruit.
really good. Yeah, real nice. Just like Jay said, real easy.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Smells nice. It does. It smells like an IPA.
Yeah.
Tastes like an ale, though.
Mango, maybe?
Maybe.
I don't know. I
Some
ate mangoes
pineapple.
today.
Did you really?
I did.
Dude, everybody's palate. It's just today.
So what else is going on?
Not much. We're gonna first part of our show. We're gonna talk about some WandaVision. Everybody is caught up, correct?
Yes.
Everybody is caught up.
Did everybody watch the two? So spoilers ahead.
I'm
as
on
we-
episode 2.
No, you're not. Spoilers ahead, obviously. Did you guys all catch the 2 extra scenes
Yes.
at the end?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay.
Okay.
I only watched the first one.
We
and
are
then
trained in the ways of Marvel.
I wasn't prepared. I was ready for the first one. I was like, all right, that's cool. And then I let the credits run, and then I, hit the bathroom, kind of wash my face, and I hear voices, and I'm like, no.
I hate to talk about the end credits first.
Oh, I'm
but
not going to. I'm just saying.
No, I'm going to. Since we're doing it. That last end credit scene with Scarlet Witch and Cabin in the Woods, that was delightfully spooky.
Yeah.
She's walking around, and yet she's also
She's
reading
astral
the book at the
projecting,
same-
yeah, just like what Doctor Strange does
Doctor
when
Strange.
he was studying. But yeah, I for some reason it just felt spookier. She wasn't doing it in a library; she was doing it in a dark room in a cabin in the middle of the woods.
And
Beautiful.
so her character is supposed to be more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme.
And she could, what they say, her destiny is to destroy the world.
Well, she doesn't want to do that. Just
It's not
might
up to her. It's your
happen. Yeah,
destiny.
it's your destiny.
Exactly.
Why are
It's your
destinies
destiny.
always evil? You notice that?
Because you can't control it.
Not always.
Anytime someone is trying to tell you what your destiny is, they're telling you have to fuck some shit up.
But I don't want to. I just want to play.
It's your destiny. Do it.
I have foreseen it. It is your destiny.
Embrace your power. So on, etc.
So we got thrown a curveball by
That motherfucker.
Dude. Well done.
Yeah,
Well
Paul
done.
Bettany. Good job, buddy.
Well done. You had me.
You had the interwebs
You had me.
scrambling.
So Paul Bettany said weeks ago that there was going to be a cameo, and he was really looking forward to working with this actor, and he had the whole fan base speculating, and it was him the whole time.
Like Agnes.
Brilliant. And dude, he had great scenes with himself.
He really did.
Fucking brilliant.
Some of the best dialogue of that.
Are you kidding?
That whole episode.
This episode kind of elevated like how I feel about comic movies. The depth, I think.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of the really strange concepts too.
Yeah.
Like strange concepts about things that I know it's about coping with grief, but it's very complex. And I don't think I've really ever seen these types of things on screen before. So it's original, and I thought extremely emotional.
What'd you guys think of get back to Paul Bettany, him having his conversation and getting him trapped in the computer loop, the famous computer loop? I'm not sure where it originated from, but when I think of that thing where you confuse a computer to take logic and to disprove itself, goes back to what's that movie with Matthew Broderick from the 80s?
War Games.
War Games.
Right, where he basically had it playing tic-tac-toe until infinity, right? There's no way to win.
Yeah.
He pulled a War Games on White Vision, which I thought was really cool. So awesome little reference. And I
Nicely
loved
done
that story about the thesis thing. I've never heard that story before.
Really?
It's really cool. Yeah, I'm sure it's very common. I'd never heard it.
Same here.
Where does this lead the White Vision? Do we have to call him the White Vision? What can we call him, like Spectral Vision or whatever?
I don't know. They're still referring to him as White Vision. Well, he's got all the memories of WandaVision now.
No, he does not have the memories of
What
WandaVision.
does he
He
have?
unlocked his memories from before.
Correct.
So the only vision that has the WandaVision, the inside the hex memories, is her imaginary vision.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
So-
he's gone.
But where did he go, and how come he didn't go and find Wanda right away now that he's Vision?
Well, I would imagine he's got some
Personal.
things to work out right now.
Well, so does Wanda. But I was wondering the same thing.
He was literally killed twice. Once by his girlfriend. Once by
Twice in like 10 minutes.
right, and then he was put together by a bunch of.
Yeah.
Speaking of bad guys,
Vision's
hold
been
on.
through a lot.
Yeah.
Vision, I don't think this girl is working out for you.
Agnes as a bad guy,
I don't
top notch. No, I thought she stole the show. All right, who was your choice for bad guys on the show? You had Agnes and the asshole from not Sword, but whatever
Yeah.
his name was.
Sure.
He was.
I
so-
thought that scene with Quicksilver was going to turn into a Mephisto reveal.
I think you guys, yes, I did too. But
Turns out it's just a Ralph Boner.
no, Wanda was the bad guy.
Mikey,
No,
that
Agatha-
occurred to me.
Yeah, Agatha said straight out, it is her destiny to destroy the world. I take power from those who don't deserve it. It's kind of her thing. She didn't do that to those people. That was Wanda. The only thing Agatha did was try and figure out what the fuck is going on. Who are you?
Yeah.
How are you doing this? And how can I get your power away before you destroy everything?
Let me rephrase. As an antagonist, Agatha way outshone the FBI guy.
Oh, yeah. I think that was
Like,
always intended.
100,000%. All right, cool.
Yeah.
That FBI guy felt like, we have to have one of these in there.
Every
Yeah.
single time.
So is Jimmy Woo the new Phil Coulson? Is he going to fill that void?
Good call.
Yeah.
Mm.
He's going to fill that
Coulson.
void.
Yeah.
It'll be the don't fuck with me comic
So,
relief guy.
Sure.
Did you notice how they kind of Captain Marveled Kat Jennings' character, Darcy? They put her in where she has to be in the finale, but they didn't have anything for her to do.
Yeah.
So they just had her do that one thing at the end, had her
fun
say
in
something
jail.
snarky,
Nice.
and then we never saw her again.
Yep.
Smart guys.
I thought it was kind of cop out throwing the scroll in there. I'm not afraid to say that.
For the teaser?
Yeah,
So is Photon getting her own spinoff?
a spinoff, or she's just part of the Avengers universe.
That's
not
the Disney formula at the moment. Set up as many spin-offs as humanly possible.
Fuck it, I'm going to watch every single one of them.
Yep.
Keep doing that. Absolutely.
Gives us something to talk about for sure.
Yep. I like that she didn't immediately know how to use her powers too. She's still very unsure and figuring them out. Doesn't know what she can and can't do.
One thing I didn't love.
Yep.
I feel like Wanda had one of those I suddenly figured it out moments. It's not the first time it's happened in Marvel. It's happened a couple times.
Okay. What did she suddenly figure out? Oh, the runes?
Everything after the runes. Like the runes, oh, that was clever. She learned. She paid attention. She remembered what they looked like. And then, oh, by the way, I also know how to suck all my power back, and I'm just fully unlocked.
Well, that's kind of her thing. She doesn't know any spells. She just does. She just does whatever she wants.
True.
You know, I thought another really cool part that I want to give a nod to is when she took Agatha back to her trial of the witches.
I liked that part.
And that totally backfired on her because even
instantly,
those witches are like, whoop, you're evil.
I liked that it backfired, and I also liked how she went back to doing the stuff she doesn't necessarily like doing.
Yeah.
She's just kind of been simplifying herself by sticking to throwing things and moving things. Like, no, that's right. She can do that creepy witch walk behind you.
do you remember?
That was awesome.
That's,
and it's like, oh yeah, she can do that.
She snuck up on Tony to do that.
Yep. It's like, oh, now I'm going to do the
Very
things
smart.
I don't like doing.
Yeah. Little mind control and
Look what you made me do. So Pietro,
nothing.
nothing.
No crossover.
So that was just a
just
meta
Ralph
nod
Boner.
That was just hi.
by the casting.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. I see you.
Yep.
Fucking
Good
with
job,
us.
guys. You got me.
Bravo.
Fuckers.
The kids.
Mm-hmm.
Are somewhere.
They are somewhere, apparently.
They are somewhere.
How is
Usually
this possible?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
She was talking to him.
You could hear them screaming at the end or like yelling for
Mhm.
their mother, not screaming. But
So not to delve into theories that are probably going to be way off target again.
yeah.
Way off target.
We still love you, James Spader.
Yeah. Good stuff. We know that the next Doctor Strange is supposed to be much more horror focused.
This is
Multiverse
the
of Madness.
multiverse.
Yeah.
thing.
It's
Get
supposed to
some,
be a bit more of a
get
kind of a
some-
scary,
Get some Eldritch in there.
maybe. I'm wondering if
Lovecraftian.
Wanda is going to make a deal with Mephisto to get her kids back, kind of thing. Because I know Mephisto is heavily involved in House of M, and even though a lot of the source material has been abandoned, still got the same characters, it could still grow into a version of House of M, okay, which does involve Mephisto. You know, it involves mutants, it involves Wanda, it involves Wanda losing her mind a little bit.
That's kind of always been the nature of comic book franchises. They can kind of pick and choose what references they want
Let
to
them.
use and
Let
which
'em.
ones they don't want to use. And once in a while, you get the winning formula.
I like that scene where the townspeople were approaching Wanda
Mhm.
and they kind of surrounded her. And it was just
Yeah.
Wanda like having to come face to face with her own grief and drowning in her own power.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, like not realizing how overpowered she is. She's like, no, you guys are fine. We're really not.
Well, and Agatha makes the callback too. Like, there's as long as there's people like us, there'll be pitchforks
Pitchforks,
and
Yep.
torches.
Mhm.
Yep.
A lot of torture going on in Westview.
So those kids are definitely coming back one way or another. You know, I don't know how, but I mean, that was that final scene. That was a Chekhov's gun. You heard the kids' voices. There's no way they're not coming back.
Right. This tell me really quick about this Doctor Strange thing. Is this a movie or is this going to be another miniseries?
It's a movie.
Is it coming out on Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool.
I mean, you might have to pay.
Come on, Disney Plus.
Come on,
Come on.
guy.
Yeah, come on. All right. I mean, I'm going to pay for it, but still. They know. They know what this was.
The times they are changing.
Mm-hmm.
Buying movies at home now.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, I know we have been for a long time, but
Still cheaper than going to the theater.
yeah.
But everyone else should start going to the theater, not me. Because I bought a bunch of AMC stock.
How's that doing?
I'm doing better than most.
All right.
Nice.
It's fun. What else are we going to say about this?
I thought the episode was really good. I thought there was a lot of exposition, which was needed because a lot of things did need explaining. I loved that they did the exposition while they were fighting, so that worked out. I like the little callback to the first Avengers when they did the first basically Avengers Assemble move when they were all sitting there with their fists out and everything.
Oh, did you see did you notice Iron Man, the Endgame callback?
No.
After the two witches are floating up in the sky and it's revealed that Agatha lost her powers.
Yeah. And
right before Wanda goes to take her powers, actually does the one hand thing that Tony did.
Mhm.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to
Go back and watch it.
Yeah.
It's I don't know how close it is, but it just kind of jumped out at me. She just held up her hand. I'm like, aha, aha.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You did the thing.
Yeah. I dug the finale. I thought it was cool. And it's a decent show. And I like this direction that they're going. And from what I understand, this is not a thing that's going to be a season 2. This is
no, I don't think it's necessary. It's
mini
over.
series.
It's
Yeah,
over.
this was a
I'm okay with that
9-hour long
formula.
movie.
I'm okay with that formula.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it had a clear ending,
Yep.
and now she can be tied into other Marvel projects. She's not going anywhere.
Imagine if
It's a
they'd done
good
Lord of
gig.
the Rings like this, where the Fellowship was a 9-part miniseries.
Oh my dear God.
And
Well,
Return of the King was a 10-part miniseries, or Two Towers was a 10-part miniseries, and Return of the King was a 12-part miniseries.
And the beginning of every series, you're reintroduced to every character for 10 minutes.
I saw a poster for that new
Oh, the Silmarillion.
Tolkien show. It's called The One Ring. I think.
Is that not the Silmarillion?
Unless it was like, unless I got bamboozled.
I'm
And it's
into
like
it.
a fan poster because it was on this page.
Okay.
I thought it was a Lord of the Rings page,
Okay.
but it looked legit. I don't know. Sorry, I don't mean to mislead anybody. I'll have to look this up.
This is how rumors start.
I like it.
Kev, you said you had some conflicts.
What were you conflicted about? With the show?
Oh no, what I brought up before, how Wanda had that I suddenly figured it out moment, and I was kind of digging how out of control she was.
Yeah.
And kind of anticipating I can't control this. I have to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Before I wipe all these people out.
One thing I do kind of wish is that after she released everyone and let, her Vision disintegrated and her kids disintegrated and her house disintegrated or devolved, whatever you want to call it, she was just kind of walking through the town. I kind of wish they had asked her to be sadder in that moment.
Right.
I kind of wish the grief still continued.
That interaction between
She
her
was-
and Photon didn't sell for me at all.
You couldn't get a hug?
Well, it was just
Between
like,
friends?
I'll
And go to jail. No.
if we were capable of putting you in jail, we would totally put you in jail. At least acknowledge the only reason she's not suffering consequences is because no one there can enforce them.
When the Hex first started to come down and WandaVision was fighting White Vision, everybody started falling apart, including her kids and Vision, right? She clearly freaked out, and then she had to put things back up.
Yep.
But you're right. At the end, when it was like, hey, we know what needs to be done. And then, it seemed like totally chill. Like,
Yeah.
hey.
I will say Paul Bettany did a great job in that scene when he was falling apart
Yeah.
and he was screaming for the boys.
Yep.
It was like,
Yeah.
oh, what a great actor.
Yeah.
Right.
I got a question. Agatha.
Yeah.
Does she stay Agatha, the nosy neighbor, after the Hex is down? I kind of
Yes.
got that
Yes.
impression.
Yes.
Yes.
She created a little mini Hex just on her.
Yep.
Why couldn't you do that for Vision and the kids?
I don't know.
Because she didn't create Agatha. She's just mind controlling her.
Okay.
Magic
What
on
does Agatha
autopilot.
do for work? How is
Yeah,
she
she'll
gonna?
take
Because she's
care of
kind of
something.
trapped in that town now.
Yeah.
Is she just like the really nice homeless lady now?
Oh, no.
you know.
It makes you wonder.
Makes you wonder, yeah.
Like
All the kids will probably start a rumor that she's a witch.
in 3 months, she's just going to be wandering around,
Okie dokie, artichokey.
right?
And it's not like everyone in the town doesn't know. Like, they just saw what happened. I don't think they're really going to want to interact with her that much.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
That's I hadn't thought about it with any depth.
I don't think they thought about it
Superheroes
either.
never think about what happens after they leave, after the big battle. They tear apart Manhattan, and
Wasn't
then
that
they're like,
wasn't
"You're
that
welcome."
Oh, that's right. You didn't see Civil War.
Yeah.
That was the whole basis for Civil War, Jay.
I don't remember if we talked about it here. Do we talk about, the snap? And then when the Hulk undid the snap, do we talk about it on here? Like, all the people that were, like, in planes and on cruise
Oh
ships.
my God, no!
When the snap came back, now there's, like, 50 people falling from
Oh my God!
or just dropped in the middle of the ocean or standing in the middle of a highway. Like, shit.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Or-
You're taking that to a
Or
dark
what
place.
happens if someone comes back and someone else is standing in the exact same spot?
Oh,
They make a
Sounds
bunch.
messy.
They make a bunch of Cronenbergs.
I never thought about that either. Man, you gotta take this to a.
Well, plus, I mean,
Nice.
what counts as being lost in the snap? What if on an airplane just the pilot and the co-pilot gets snapped
Sure.
and everyone on the plane dies? Do they get brought back? They technically weren't taken out by the snap.
It's dark. It's
We're not
really
supposed
dark.
to overthink it.
That's kind of what we do, though.
That's what we do.
Some of us do.
But
Yeah.
we're not
Just
we're
enjoying
not
the
supposed to
moment.
overthink the logistics of something called an infinity gauntlet handling the problem of finite resources.
Jay, were you thirsty?
I'm sorry. Did I drink that fast?
I am like resisting drinking this fast.
Oh,
I
me
need
too.
to drag
Yeah.
this beer out until we're done talking about WandaVision.
I still appreciate how clear they set the time travel rules in Endgame.
Was that clear?
They had a short scene where it was just like, all right, here are the rules, moving on.
Okay.
Which rules did they decide on? Was it Back to the Future rules?
No, they specifically said it's not Back to the Future rules, and they said no hot tub time machine. It's every timeline is its own timeline.
Okay.
You can fuck up other timelines, but it won't affect your timeline. Because I feel like they knew the time travel thing could get messy,
Oh,
which
okay.
it always does.
Yeah.
Look at Terminator.
Well, that was a delicious beer. I'm going to buy some of these. It's funny. I was at my local place, and these were right next. What did I end up getting? It's a Vermont brewery, but I was like, I'll get the Owl next time. Now I know. Should have gotten the Owl. Should have gotten Night Shift.
Do you get these all the time, Brew? Not this one. I know this is your first one, but you're a Night Shift guy.
Yeah, I was buying their IPA, the Santilli, for a while. That's what we're gonna have next.
This was incredible. This hit the spot. This was really refreshing,
Really good. I've never had this
and
one.
it's only 4.5%.
Yeah,
Which is
Crush.
nice.
Which means we can crush it.
yeah. Crush a few of those on a Saturday.
Yep.
No doubt.
All right, cool. Anything else on WandaVision? We are done with WandaVision.
Are we done?
Yeah.
I'm happy with WandaVision.
It was
Well,
a good run. I liked it
yeah.
in the beginning, and by the end, I loved it. It was a really cool show.
I like the real time twists and turns that they gave us. I love that Paul Bettany threw us that curveball.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they use the actor. I don't have his name on hand. The actor for Pietro for Quicksilver.
Oh, yeah.
And it ended up being for complete random.
Just to mess with us.
Oh, I happen to play this character. Well, now we're going to have you play the guy that's playing that character.
Can you believe that? I mean, just to fuck with us.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love
Everybody goes nuts. Oh, we're getting multiverse. We're going to bring the X-Men in. And crossover. Nope.
that. It was well done. I think we're going to see Agatha again. I think Wanda is going to have some questions,
Sure.
and she's going to have to wake up Agatha. And I mean, again, Chekhov's gun, they already alluded to that.
Right.
I didn't really feel like the punishment met the crime when Wanda imprisoned her in her own mind. You know,
Again, she wasn't the bad guy.
I know.
Wanda
not
was-
only that, but Agatha is responsible for Scarlet Witch coming to terms with her grief.
Yeah.
Which she should be at least a little bit thankful for, and not make her a prisoner in her own mind for eternity.
Mhm.
But I
She
understand.
said thank you for the lesson.
Yeah, and then
something like that.
and then imprison her
In a bitchy kind of way.
In a bitchy kind of way. But
But
it's a cat fight. It got settled pretty amicably.
I could understand as like a writer, how would we write like their conversation? Like how would we get dialogue or something to happen where they have this like amicable thing happen?
Yeah.
Where, they basically like go their separate ways or whatever. Who knows? Just kind of like, all right, this is how we're going to shut Agatha out. Damn, done.
Okay.
I mean, what else easier than
could you do?
elaborating.
What else could you do?
Burn her.
With that cat. But I mean, were they really enemies though?
Well, I like what she did.
Time will
She's
tell.
like, all right, you clearly know things I'm gonna need to know in the future, so I'm gonna need you to stay right here-ish. Right around here. Don't cause any trouble.
Okie dokie, artichokey.
Well, I mean, it kind of looks like too Wanda hasn't entirely made up her mind whether she's good or evil.
Well, I mean, she's been on both sides.
She's been on both sides. Apparently, it's her destiny to be super
And she
evil.
did feel a lot of remorse
See,
when she killed those people in the building by accident. She felt
sure
like
did.
that really obviously.
Did she feel remorse, or did she feel, oh no, everyone's going to hate me again?
oh Jesus, I think they did a really good job at showing where her true values lie, and that the illusion that she had created was an accident and a pure result of her crushing grief.
Yeah.
I thought they did a really good job of showing these two things. The questions we're asking or the things we're saying, like, Wanda being the bad guy, you're not wrong, because of what she actually did. I mean, it's awful, to torture an entire town and everything.
Oh, sure. And
But
I know she didn't know she was doing it.
she had no idea. She had no effing idea. And the thing that reined her in, the thing that kept her, I think, from just laying waste to everything around her is the things that she learned from being with the Avengers. Because if you remember what she was like before she joined up with them, she was already a bad guy. She was on the wrong side. She was just a punk who was just.
I don't think she
people.
ever saw herself as a bad guy, though.
Probably not, but she was angry. She was not aligned.
No.
With lawful good, until she was. And I
Right.
think that they showed it. During the climax of this, especially with the fight with Agatha, I thought. Like I said, I'm just repeating myself. I thought they did a good job of separating those two things. That was one of the main things I really ended up liking. One of the many things I liked about this episode was the clarity of her character.
Oh, because my point was too that immediately after realizing that she'd been doing this terrible thing, what's the first thing she did? I'm going to do that one more time, just to one more person.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, I don't like the folk. Yeah,
Again, it's brilliant. It's safeguarding
Sure.
essential knowledge.
yeah. The more I think about
in
it, the more it kind of
in a cold-hearted way.
Yeah.
Okay, I find that intriguing.
It was a solid
I know that
episode. I wish that walk of shame was a little bit more shameful.
Yes.
She put on her hoodie.
Did she have her hands in her pockets?
Of
I don't
course.
recall, but I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Of course
All
she
right.
did.
I retract my statement.
She hung her head a little bit.
Okay.
But you notice as soon as the cops show up, she's like, "Oh, well, see ya."
So, I think, imagine being as powerful as they're portraying her, though. She's pretty much all powerful. She can create what she wants, control what she wants, take what she wants, do what she wants.
Scary.
I don't think people matter that much to her anymore without that anchor of vision. I don't know. We'll see. I can't wait to see what character she turns into.
Well, let me make a final point on Wanda. The Hex, I think, was her heart of hearts. I like your theory that she was the bad guy. However, her version of all she ever wants, like what her heart's desire was, is to just have a family and live a normal life. That was displayed in her sitcoms. That's what she wanted. That's what she was trying to do. If she was truly an evil person, do you think she would have the white picket fence and you know what I mean? Or would she be
kidnapped a town?
I have a slightly different
didn't
angle.
know that she
I have
kidnapped a town.
I have a different angle. It's not even really what she really wanted. It's just what her kind of mind went to, because she did this automatically.
Right.
She is crushed. She can barely move. She can't deal with reality. Vision is gone. What the F? Freaks out. This thing happens, and it's like a dream to her. So it's not even like this. She didn't have time to think. That's why they showed her watching the sitcoms when she was a kid. This is just what happened.
But she's not dreaming of world domination or ending the world.
No, but this is like the ultra powerful being version of having a cry.
Yeah.
She needs to talk to someone. She needs some therapy. She needs some counseling.
On that note.
And now for something completely different.
Oh, we're going.
I'd like to remind our audience we're hilarious off camera.
Well, I think when the record button's on, we're a lot more conscious of what we're saying.
Yeah, of course.
So
during our break, we went and grabbed the beers, and then I adjusted the mic for Baru because he's just breathing so damn hard into that thing.
I'm trying to be so quiet.
You're turning purple. You gotta breathe.
I'm trying to disappear by being so quiet.
I'm cracking this Santilli open. This
Let's
is
get to it.
Santilli.
This is the moment we've all been
American
waiting
India
for.
Pale Ale, 6%.
Santilli. So, according to the PR person at
Grapefruit.
That's wicked cool. They wrote you back.
That was
seemed
really
like a
cool.
nice person. Too.
Super nice.
Another clear one.
A little enthusiasm. I like when
Less
people
clear.
send like texts with like some punctuation.
Yeah, they were saying the Santilli was actually a fan favorite. This was voted in by them into rotation. So very cool. And
Nice pour, Jay.
a nice little tidbit. Thank you. Apparently, Night Shift was never going to brew IPAs, according to this PR person.
Wow.
Amazing when they were first started. So
I'm looking at this can on the side. World Beer Cup 2016 Bronze Award. Now I'm excited.
oh, dang.
Yeah?
This,
Okay.
I haven't tried it.
This
I'm still
tastes a
pouring.
little bit more lightweight than I remember. It's excellent though, man. Oh,
I
Santilli.
enjoy this. This is
I forgot until this very second that we are just about to do our music segment.
yes.
All right.
We are about to do our music segment.
I am looking forward to this.
This is going to be good. So last week we did the rotation starting with me. This week we will start to the man to my left. That will be Kev. We'll go around the horn that way, and we will rotate each episode that way.
I was
And-
not prepared for this change.
Well, now you're ready. Shit. So once again, each of us sent the other an album for the purpose of a review. 4 albums in total. Kevin, tell me about why I was listening to Sword this week.
Wait.
This is going to be awesome.
The Sword.
The Sword.
Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah, this is
That's a different band.
So they're from,
My bad.
They're from like.
They're from Austin, Texas.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
This foot stomping band.
Yes, this band is called The Sword. The album I chose is Warp Riders. It is one of my top 10 favorite albums, and I've never felt a greater connection between album art or album cover and actual music before.
Tell me about this album cover.
By the way, this
It's-
whole album is based on sci-fi stuff.
Yes,
It's kind of cool.
that's why the album cover is like retro future looking spaceship
Yeah.
It's
going
nerd
through an
metal.
asteroid field.
Yeah, imagine like an Atari,
Yeah.
label on like a cartridge because it's got that border and everything, and,
Yeah.
and the font. It's extremely and it's perfect. It's fucking perfect.
It's space
It's
cowboy.
a great cover.
Yeah.
It's space cowboy music.
It was funny. I was listening to this because I had to listen to it a couple of times to try and get a good grip on what I was hearing. And I had heard them before, but I've never listened to the whole album. And I'm imagining like an updated heavy metal movie. Remember the cartoon Heavy Metal?
I own the VHS.
Obviously.
That's so interesting because even when I heard their old records, I used to have similar thoughts.
Yeah.
That's super relevant because guess how I first heard this band?
Kev, how did you come across this band?
On a playlist based off of Don Felder's heavy metal.
Excellent.
Yes.
What's the clip we're going to be listening to there, Kev?
We're going to be listening to a clip from The Warp Riders.
Here we go. Yep, convertible spaceships. Battle
It kinda
Axes.
Sounds
All
like
that.
something that should be listened to on vinyl.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of everything this band did up to and including this album. Just great guitar tone. He's got a solid heavy metal voice.
Yeah, it reminds me of that.
The guy
late
plays
70s,
drums like
80s.
John Bonham. Like,
Mhm.
Yep.
I mean, they have all the great elements. And I mean, it's funny because they are a heavy metal band, but they swing around like a stoner rock band.
I was
But they
gonna
have more
say,
riffs than any stoner rock band ever in
Yes.
existence.
It's
It's
a
just
little
riff
bit-
after riff.
We were
after
just
riff.
talking about that, weren't we?
Yes, Kevin sent me a text saying it's funny how like stoner rock bands all have the same riff, and he's totally right.
this band in particular, that song in particular, it kind of reminds me more of a Corrosion of Conformity album, like that type of stoner rock,
For sure.
except with the singer of Life of Agony.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I mean, yeah,
It fits. Sure
yeah,
fits.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Yeah, I mean, this band, I was into them for a while, and every once in a while they keep going back. They're solid, man. Good driving around, rock and roll.
Yeah.
Really good stuff, especially if you're a gearhead, because I mean the guitar tone is spot on. I mean, you can literally hear the amp. It sounds like you're in the room with the amp, and that's
Yeah.
on purpose. That's really what they're
Very
all about.
garagey.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they
If
might
you
have
look at these guys, they look like they work in an office, and this is
Totally.
like their weekend thing.
Yeah.
If I could, I had one little tiny nitpick. I was when I started
got?
listening to it, Kev. The first two songs, I think it was the first two songs. They ended on the same cymbal hit, and this is just because I have a studio, so I listened to how things are recorded, and they ended with the same cymbal hiss, and then for some reason my head just went into a bad place, like pretentious drummer.
They have
Loves
they have
his cymbals.
Have to have the
needs to
last
hit.
word.
Yeah, have to
Jay,
have the last word.
This is nothing. Some of their older albums, way too cymbal heavy. There's all you can hear is
You can tell that drummer has a lot of influence in how the songs are written.
that
in the
cymbal
band.
has got to be at least 3 feet across.
Someone tighten his leash.
Right.
That's something, and I mean, I played drums for a long time, but that's something that is really amazing to me. When you go and see a band like The Sword, you're like, dude, he's been playing his fucking ride cymbal the whole time, and it sounds like 10 different cymbals.
Right.
It is wild, the
Yeah, yeah.
techniques that some of these guys have.
Sure.
Insane stuff.
I got over it really quick because it changed after those two
Yeah.
songs. I was like, oh, what did I get into? And then, no, it was fine. It was totally cool.
I can totally get how one of those little audio things can
Yep.
sneak into your head.
Yeah, it snuck in for a second, but I got over it. So I'm good.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
All right. Shall we? Mikey brought us back to our roots.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. To some Pantera and a little vulgar display of power. So, Mikey.
I'm thinking for these albums, I'm choosing albums that still make me feel. You know what I mean?
I love
Yeah.
it.
Albums that bring me back. So this was 1992. All right. This album was in a way, we had some good metal going on before that,
Sure.
but this would have been like the year after Metallica's Black Album came out, and the metal scene was really generally disappointed and it's kind of shuffling along. The Black Album was a good album for what it is. It's not what we were expecting.
Right.
You know, but then 1992 came along and we had a lot of Biohazard coming out. We had, what is it, Countdown to Extinction. I'm not a Megadeth fan, but I understand a lot of other people are. But we also had the music scene where, Dirt just came out, Alice in Chains came out,
Oh, yeah.
Soundgarden was coming out,
Everything was
Nirvana
happening.
came out the year before.
Yep.
And at the same time,
Yeah.
there was like Sir Mix-a-Lot and Criss Cross and TLC and shit like that.
It was
So
a very
much.
interesting
So there was
time.
like a lot of awful and a lot of great and a lot of classic.
But a lot of that great was the grunge scene kind of taking over the metal scene.
I was into all of it at this time. All of it.
Absolutely.
All of it.
Absolutely.
I was only in like,
I'm speaking as someone who was like 7 years old at the time. So if I'm wrong,
dude, I
let me know.
I literally, I got into music at such a young age because, of Mike and Jay here and, Lisa and stuff like that. When I was in middle school, early 90s, like when this album came out, I didn't hear this album until a couple years later, but like I was into grunge. I had like 1 or 2 death metal albums. I was into heavy metal, Anthrax, Iron Maiden, all that
Yeah.
stuff. I was into everything. I think I liked grunge the best at the time. And I knew that it's weird. I kind of knew that I was eventually going to be focusing on heavy music. But at the time when I was a kid, I loved everything. I loved all of it.
Yeah.
This album for me, it was a very big blend. It's funny you mentioned the Black Album because I think it's one of the last songs on there is it's not a ripoff. It resembles a Metallica song off of that, but nothing else matters. Essentially.
Hollow?
Yeah.
Oh, Hollow.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds. It's really
a little bit cheesy.
I get it.
I actually used it for a project in high school, but we won't get into that. But no, it's a good.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it felt like the Black Album just come on like, okay, that's their Nothing Else Matters on this one. But
I think This Love would have been more like Metallica's Unforgiven. Hollow was a straight up ballad.
I thought This Love was more of a nod to the grunge, and then there's like a bunch of like thrash, like old school thrash in there, and then the metal part, like it's really offers a lot.
The reason I chose this album, we'll play the clip in a second, but the reason I chose this album is because they had a lot of success with Cowboys from Hell. All right.
Yeah.
But there was like,
which was still kind of 80s hairy.
The last song on Cowboys from Hell was Domination. And I feel like.
No, incorrect.
What is it?
Domination was the last track on the A side.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like they got rid of like the high pitched kind of 80s metal, and they really brought forth a lot of that 90s power, that 90s metal power. It's the thrash, the mosh.
It's interesting because I actually think that, Cowboys has a little bit of 80s type of howls on there, those high pitched howls.
Yeah.
I think overall Cowboys is way more thrashy than Vulgar. I think Vulgar has Jay. I thought we should elaborate because Jay was talking about how many different things are in, how many different kind of genres that he was picking from that are in this album. And I think that's really important because
there's also the Biohazard song.
Because
with the rap.
The Vulgar was extremely special when it came out. And Jay was right. It's got hardcore, it's got some thrash. It's in your face. It's got this attitude.
This played to a wider audience. Original. This played to a wider audience than Cowboys.
Sure. I mean, what they did was they made it street.
Yep.
They really kind of it's hard to put into words. I used to really I still can feel it. It's been so long. Sure. It's really hard to kind of explain how important this was, and like kind of like the blanket it put on, because everybody liked Pantera. A lot of guys, nowadays metalheads, at least the ones I see on Facebook, they get all fucking butthurt about whether or not to listen. If you weren't there, I don't really care what you have to say, okay? Because like this was everything. Everybody liked Pantera. The death metal guys, the grunge guys, everybody. They were badass. And I mean, not to mention Dime. I mean, one of the big reasons anybody still talks about Pantera is, I mean, Dime's the fucking man.
Yep.
Period.
Dime and Benny.
Yeah. In a lot of instances, I think there are more brutal riffs on Cowboys than there are on Vulgar.
Really?
Yeah.
What song?
Dude, Primal Concrete Sledge.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
And then on the B side, there's songs like The Art of Shredding, which I think might be the last song. And there's The Sleep. There's a couple other good ones I'm forgetting the name of. But when you look at Cowboys, the entire album, and on the first,
I like The Sleep.
Heresy. I think Heresy and Domination. That's two of probably their heaviest songs ever, without even talking about Far Beyond Driven. Just those two albums.
Okay.
I love Vulgar, don't get me wrong, but I think because I've been thinking about it a lot since you sent it to us, and I listened to Vulgar. Like, I hate Mouth for War. I hate Walk. I love the rest of the album.
That's the other thing. I didn't choose this because every song was awesome. In fact, a lot of times when I go back and listen to any Pantera, some of it feels a little bit cheesy to me.
Oh, Wicked. Yeah, that's the thing about this dude.
Like
for me, for me personally, it's sad to say, but Vulgar didn't age very well. I still love Cowboys though.
I think it's still, the sound engineering on it is still great.
It's great. It's great. It's very dated.
It's tight and clean and just sounds amazing.
I think it's a perfect time capsule.
Yeah.
It was saying, hey, this is.
It brings me back for sure.
And once again, like the
Phil's
other things that we were
harmonies.
listening to at this time, because I mean, like Black Crowes was huge in '92. Blind Melon, like, shit like that. Like there was a whole bunch of.
You know how many death metal guys I know who listen to Blind Melon? I'm not
Blind Melon's
fucking
awesome.
with you. I know they are.
Absolutely.
They're good.
I'm just hanging on for this conversation. I was a little kid at this time.
Let's listen to the clip.
Grown-ups are talking, Kev.
What song are we doing, Mikey?
We're doing By Demons Be Driven.
Here we go.
Serving the fate of
Dude,
Withers and dies.
Nice clip.
that just, I mean, we listen to this album once a year. Once a year. I don't know about you, but it's once a year for us.
But in 1992, it was 3 times a day.
Understood. Understood.
For sure.
Unpopular opinion on this album: Regular People has one of my favorite Pantera riffs.
That is not
And
an unpopular
I never
opinion.
hear anyone talk about that song.
No,
ever.
most people who love this record usually say the lyric from Regular People. You know, most regular people would know, "Don't fuck with this," whatever.
I just listen to the guitar intro.
And then the other song that's either right before or right after it. Anyone remember? There's Regular People, and what's the one right before? Anyway, I'll have to look it up. Anyway, so there's 2 songs on the B side that are like kind of similar. Anyways, good album. Really good album. It definitely reminds me of how things felt back then and how I felt listening to it and how some of the vocal harmonies like made me feel. The world felt so much smaller back then. And like for some reason you felt more connected to these artists when they made something that, you know, really spoke to you. And this band absolutely spoke to me for a huge portion of my life. I don't listen to them every day now, but I definitely appreciate Pantera and having them basically motivate me to be a raging maniac in my younger years. Thanks for teaching us how to party too. Those
I can't even
VHS
count
tapes.
how many
shit.
Pantera shows we've been to.
Dude, those VHS.
Strangely enough, my favorite Pantera show was the one where we saw them with Anthrax.
Oh yeah,
Phil
that
was
like at the
so
Lowell
trashed.
Odd or something.
I think so, yeah. And Phil was so trashed, he passed out on stage. The singer from Anal Cunt had to come out and do his whole set for him, and he sounded better than Phil.
I remember that.
And then Anthrax came on, and I've seen Anthrax before, but never like that. Oh my god, it was absolutely brutal.
They needed to up their game.
That was
when
one of
they saw
my
that shit.
that was one of my favorite shows. That was a really good one. I danced all night long.
There was no escaping. You didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
I was right in there, man.
Yep.
All right, let's blast forward to Brew's album. Brew?
Hold on. I'm actually
What?
just real quick.
Give it to us. real
This
quick.
album here, I had never heard before.
That was clear.
It's from a band that I only recently became familiar with. And when I started, I kind of kept going back and forth with it. Anyways, it's a really obscure Norwegian band, and it's black metal and whatever. Anyways, I'm really interested in what you guys think. So I'm just going to kind of,
Okay.
I want to hear some stuff from you guys before I...
You're going to hear some stuff. Shall we listen to the clip first
no,
our impressions first?
No, yeah. Let's
All right.
set it up.
It was difficult for me to get through.
Mm-hmm. This is not surprising. I'm kind of expecting the three of you to kind of say the same thing.
Okay.
It felt pretty flat.
I was
You're not wrong.
this was my face for the album.
Okay.
He's making a sad face. No one can see your face, Kev.
Oh yeah, I have
Yep.
that's right. we're not
But
on
I
video.
tried.
He thinks it's the
Brew.
beard. No, these aren't cameras. These are microphones.
I tried though, Brew. I'm like, all right, I'm
I really tried.
gonna put myself into this. And the guitar work was actually really legit.
It has its moments, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely does. The vocals were, I found they kind of went everywhere, but not in a way that was pleasant. Mostly, I don't know how to.
Yeah,
I thought the vocals were really theatrical, and the hypocrisy doesn't escape me on that statement because all music is theatrical to a point. It was just this was
Black
a
metal
little bit
specifically.
unrelatable for me personally because I can't think of any black metal that I've really fallen in love with. It's a good listen. I had a good time listening to it. I listened to it like 2.5 times, and I fast forwarded and tried this song.
I had this mentality too where I'm still in the wake of that incredible album you linked us for the last show.
That's literally
Where
all I've been listening
I'm
to.
still like
Have a
driving
groove.
and like pumping my fist out the window.
So, yeah, I get it. I'm not surprised at all by your reactions. This is one that's definitely not for everybody. And I think in the future, I'll try to pick stuff. I don't know. This was very spontaneous, and I should have put more thought into it. But we did a show last week, and now it's a week later, and we're doing another one. So that was pretty quick for us. My take is I don't love it, but I appreciate the fuck out of it.
Oh, yeah. Same.
This type of stuff, I mean, you guys know I'm a huge black metal fan.
It's not lacking for quality.
Well,
vicious.
it kind of is.
Did we say the name of the band? I'm
It's
sorry.
this is Endezzma. I'm sorry. We're talking about a band called Endezzma.
Yes.
I really hope we mentioned that in the beginning of this segment.
Yeah.
We're talking about Endezzma, the Archer, Fjord, and the Thunder. Their new album.
Cool name.
Yep, it's on Dark Essence Records. Great label. So the reason I said I don't love it, but I appreciate the fuck out of it, is I'm very familiar with the riffing style that they use on this album, and I love it, and I appreciate a lot of the timing that they use for chord changes and things during blast beats. Most of the album is blast beats. That's one of the things I don't love about it. While I do love blast beats, there's not enough memorable moments here, or even powerful changes. It's very
One-dimensional.
drawn out. But the thing is, black metal tries to do funny things like that to you, where you have to try to find some comfort while you're uncomfortable, or find beauty in something that's very ugly. And I think it's actually best illustrated in this little clip that we have. The ending riff of a song has a very cool title. The name of the night is a strong tower. That's the clip we'll check out right here.
So I'll say that was the least depressing 15 seconds on this album.
Yeah, it's definitely an assault on your senses. Typically, when I listen to something that's trying to be this overwhelming, I like it to be a little more technical and, frankly, a little bit more death metal. It's definitely walking the line of, like, what is it? It's a modern black metal record, so it's got a more modern production. I mean, it sounds great, but it's swarming and it's thick like death metal. And then, but he's got these vocals that are like old school Dark Throne most of the time, and which is great. It's distinct. It's not for everybody. So anyways, 5 was like a perfect score. I'd probably give this like a 2.5, 3. 2.5 crushed beer cans out of 5.
There we go.
I'm sorry to say it, because I feel like Endezzma put on a solid effort, and these guys have been trying for a long time. This is their 3rd or 4th album.
Listen, we don't have to put on albums we love. We have to put on albums we can talk about.
There we go.
And that's perfect.
Listen, this that I'm doing right now, I love talking about it.
Right on.
Anyway, so it's a mediocre album. There's plenty of things to like on it. If you like black metal, definitely check it out. There's much better black metal out there, though, for sure.
We got Jay.
I have got something for you guys that I know
Yeah, you do.
you
I'm
all
curious
enjoyed.
which clip you picked.
Oh, I picked one that you are totally not going to expect. So I chose the 1999 album for Violent Femmes, Viva, Wisconsin. One of my favorite CDs to put into my 1982 Oldsmobile Cutlass and drive around.
That was such a nice car.
It was. And
Shame somebody had to go and ruin it.
okay. Now,
Did you ever find that asshole?
what they're referring to is that somebody here drove my 1982 Olds Cutlass.
It was me. It was Peru. The reason you're going from black metal to Violent Femmes, and the reason I broke your car.
is in second gear. He drove it in second gear from Natick to Methuen, Mass.
That's what they think I did, but the thing
Allegedly.
yeah,
Allegedly.
yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. But anyway, yeah, no, this album, I can't tell you why I picked this album. I've always loved this album, just like when I decide to put it on. So you remember back in the day when you're driving around, you remember CD books?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just be flipping through there and I'd be like, Wisconsin. I'm going to put that. There's so many sing-alongable songs.
You remember the CD sleeves that you would put on the
Above
visor?
Yes.
Yep.
And then this happened to me once. You take a right turn too much and they fly out the window
No, that's
like
never happened
frisbees. That happened to me.
This is one of my guilty
Like
pleasure
confession.
albums for sure.
Really?
Oh, for sure. I actually remember the day I first heard it. I was at an old apartment, and it was
You weren't driving my car. Okay.
No, I don't. No. You know what? Back then, you might have shown it to me. I might have hated it, but one day,
It's like me with The Cure.
yeah.
I didn't like The Cure back then. Now
Me
I
either.
love them.
I love them.
I don't like the Cure now.
Now
What's up?
and anyways, it was at my old apartment. It was like a awesome day out, and I was going through some CDs on the floor, and I found this. I was like, let's try it. I just got into it. It just pulled me right in. I'm like, this is so much fun.
That's
How can
awesome.
I not like, and I still listen to it to this day. I love
I
this
thought
album.
for sure that Mikey would love this just because of the bass in this
Yeah.
is so
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
There's so much acoustic
It's funny you say that.
slapping bass.
I
This
have
felt-
never liked Violent Femmes.
Really?
I like American music,
Oh my God.
and I like the song.
That's
they
the one
put-
I skip.
I figured. Well, I mean, it's not something I would intentionally put in. I don't hate them.
Yeah.
You know, when they're on, they're on. It's great. If they come on and like one of my Pandora mixes or
Yeah.
something, it's fine. The one song I love by them, I don't remember the name of it. So it was on the Crow soundtrack.
Yes.
Love
Yes. I know
that song.
Yeah.
I have nothing against them. It's just
It wasn't your thing.
It
The
just exists
Color me
peripherally.
once.
Listening to this
Color me
concert,
twice.
Yeah.
listening to this album, it felt like that concert would have paired really well with Primus.
Oh my God. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That would have been
Absolutely.
blast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So check out my clip. Dahmer's dead.
Dahmer's dead.
Dahmer's dead, a broomstick fast upside his head. Dahmer bled, Dahmer fell dead. Bloody broomstick, Dahmer is dead. Long live the broomstick upside his head. Long live the broomstick.
Dahmer's dead.
And that was a 1 minute and change song about Jeffrey Dahmer that they just kind of made up on the spot from the sound of it.
Amazing.
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 I like the sing along quality. Like you were saying, like that's my favorite part about Violent Femmes is like it's just like everyone's gonna sing really badly.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like a Sweet Caroline
Right.
moment where it doesn't matter if you can sing or doesn't. Just
But anyway, yeah, Violent Femmes, Viva, Wisconsin. I love the album. Mikey doesn't love it. But,
sorry, I don't love it.
well,
I wanted to love it. I
The
did
good-
listen to it.
I liked it.
The good weather's coming. Cue it up. It's a good album.
seriously.
I cranked it up for American music.
Well,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
That's
Fuck all y'all.
You know what? You know what's
And
funny
your-
too?
And your 90s memories,
I
vivid 90s
enjoy
memories.
this entire album.
Yep.
There
Yeah.
not really a bad song on
All
it.
21 songs, Jay.
It's
Sorry, I will not do that again.
21
No,
songs.
Do it.
Look,
Do it.
I at least appreciate that. So, first off, are you sticking with a live album theme? 'Cause
No.
You're 2 for 2 right now.
I am, and I will change it up next one, I promise.
I have
You don't
no
have
idea
to.
what I'm going to do next, but I'm glad
I have an idea what I'm going to do.
I'm
Because
glad
you
I
have an
got to
idea.
show you guys a couple black metal albums, and you loved one, and then we got to dissect another one. That was
Absolutely.
very satisfying to me.
I can't wait to listen to Avo Caruno on the way home.
I like the
Nice.
theme of your live albums though, where they're not the albums where you have like a 5-minute speech from the singer between every song,
Correct.
like Mr. Hetfield.
Yeah, no.
Between
no
every
speeches.
song.
It's the worst.
No speeches. I encourage all of you to check out Night Shift Brewing at nightshiftbrewing.com.
Solid.
Very solid.
Super solid.
Night Shift is available in stores in Mass, New Hampshire, Maine, Connecticut, New York, and Pennsylvania. And their tap room in Everett, Mass is open Thursday through Sunday. If you enjoyed this episode of Draft Bastards, we would certainly appreciate it if you subscribed. You can visit us at draftbastards.podbean.com and on Facebook and Instagram at Draft Bastards, all one word. Drop us a like and say hey. And as always, please support your local brewery. Also, what do you think of the new format? Are we doing the right thing? I feel like it feels good.
Please let us know.
We don't run out of stuff to talk about.